No way, Tom. That's crazy. That's amazing though. Okay, but are you up to date, Tom? Because like I know Cody Rhodes was like all about AEW, and now Cody Rhodes is the face of WWE again. The Cody Rhodes thing?
Cover in no time.
Okay. Really? I didn't think it would be that detailed. Okay, well then I don't want to bother you for that right
I
now.
have a hard
I'm
bargain.
very curious about it though. I mean I used to be a wrestling fan. Now I'm just kind of like a fair weather wrestling fan, someone that like liked it in the past. Hey Chrome.
Need a drink?
Oh, the ladies are amazing. You're watching since you were 12. Nice. I used to be like deep into wrestling, but also like I can't keep up. It's so much work to keep up. You do watch all the pay-per-views?
Wishing you luck.
Nice. Let's go.
That was tremendous.
Is Bianca Belair out of NXT? Man, I yeah, that that should tell you how far I've been out of it. She's a superstar. That's sick. I mean, she has it. Asuka was like my favorite from the get go. I love Asuka. And then she went heel, and I loved her more. I love Asuka. Like she's so good. She's so good. She's so talented. Asuka's currently buying Arcane. Really? No way. That's sick. Okay, here. This is a timeline for you. Becky Lynch. Yeah, Becky was she was on leave to have a baby. Last I was watching WWE. That was when I was like pretty consistently watching. Bianca Belair was in NXT, and Becky Lynch was going away to have a baby, and that's the last I remember. Becky and Seth, right? Yeah, that's the last I watched.
Stay on this path, champion.
Oh, that's sick, Crow. That's super cool. Bianca got called up in January 2021. Won the Rumble. Nice. Beat Sasha? Heck. Wait, that's so sick that they have the women main eventing night one. That's so sick. I think I watched the first ever women's Rumble. I was in like way too late. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Yeah, 2018. Yes, I remember the first women's Rumble. And I was like, wow, I'm sad that this is the first women's Rumble because this is like way late.
A fine place to start. Ah, a timeless classic.
Yeah, no, that is truly impressive, Tom.
Your coin. Whoa, that'll pack a punch.
I'm so sorry I'm yawning so much, y'all. I think I definitely need to go to bed after this game. There's an objectively best quest, Hidden Vault. Hidden Treasure Vault. I think you can have the worst hero ever and do really well with Hidden Treasure Vault. I think no matter what your hero power is, Hidden Treasure Vault will help you get at least at a minimum a top 4 in a game. I mean, everyone does better with more money, right? Yeah, the gold gating one, yep. That does stack with Drakari. NXT came to the Paramount in Seattle. They put a wrestling ring in. No way. Oh, like the underhanded? Yeah, of course, yeah.
Chin up and keep fighting.
Really cool comedic timing. Yeah, she's sick. She's amazing. She's one of my longest, oldest friends, and I love her to pieces, and she's one of my favorite people in the whole world. There are very few people that I just like trust in life, and she is one of those people. She and I are very similar, and I just adore her and happy to have her on stream tonight. Let's go top 4. All right. I can go to bed comfy tonight. We did it. We did it, y'all. Here's the comeback, except for not really, just not the losing MMR, which is fine because we put ourselves in the gutter, but it's okay. Same energy. Exactly. It's pretty rare that I find someone that matches my energy. That is a big reason why we're best friends. Finding someone to match my energy is not easy, and I did find that with her. That's funny that you say that. Oh, I just got too much energy. I have way too much. I know it's not evident right now because I'm like running on fumes, but aside from running on fumes, I have way too much energy all the time, and I'm very rarely matched. So the people that are very close to my life are the people that have successfully matched my energy because I spent too much time toning my energy down for people. I spent too much time caring about trying to make other people comfortable, you know? Anahita thinks I follow. Welcome, welcome. Instead of making myself feel bad for who I am as a human, I'm just going to surround myself with people that mirror my energy. It's so hard to learn that it doesn't... Exactly. Oh my gosh, it's so hard. Anyone that has anything negative to say about you and what you do with your life are negative for all of the wrong reasons. Not because they care about you, but because they don't want you to do what you're doing currently, for whatever reason that is. And oftentimes it's very selfish, and it does not matter. So why care, you know? Instead, you can spend your energy doing what you do best and being yourself. I feel like as you get older, it's so much lonelier. Like, it's not like grade school where you're like, everyone's friends, and, you know, that's just kind of expected, you know? But you're an adult human with your own feelings, and that's okay, and that's super okay. And taking care of those feelings is also super okay. I will take it. I'll take a top 4. Exactly. It's not even a humble brag. I truly could not care less what you think of me and what I do. It's true facts. I can't. You can try to make me care, but I truly don't. I'm gonna keep doing me, and you can keep doing you, and that's fine. But also, that's the reason why I've claimed this, like, version of myself, you know? Why I care. I don't. That being said, I'm gonna put, like, 5:30 back on the timer when I wake up, because I have been just a heckin' exhausted sway for the last hour. So I'm gonna lay down, but I will leave you with a playlist of YouTube stuff. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. Thank you, everyone. I will indeed mute my mic. Yes, for sure. I'm going to make sure I do the correct stuff and things. But yes. Okay. All right. Good night, everyone. I'll see you in the morning. No snoring sway. No. I'll probably be back in like 5 or 6 hours, but I'll see you in the morning. Bye, everyone. Hey y'all, how's it going? On its way, and I have a really silly game for you today. So, 𝔹𝕃ℂ𝔻 has this certain amount of armor, right? Great hero, doesn't need that much armor. I was offered Finley with 10 armor, and our 𝔹𝕃ℂ𝔻 game with Finley was silly. Like, I didn't think that that little amount of armor would create such a discrepancy in how well we're able to play, but it really, really does. Sometimes that small amount of health can be the difference between ending a game early or not, and we really went crazy with this game. And on top of it, this just turned into the most perfect, beautiful end of turn game I think I've ever played also. So, I know I say that this is the blank game I've ever played, but like honestly, truly, this is. It's really silly and we get so much value. Thanks for watching. Enjoy. All right, Finley.
Have everything you
What do we
need
got?
for the battle ahead?
Oh, 𝔹𝕃ℂ𝔻? Yeah, sure. Let's do it. 𝔹𝕃ℂ𝔻 with 10 armor feels like cheating also. Oh, the biggest bait ever. It would be a mistake. I kind of want to level here. My reasoning for that is that we're going to get the free roll anyways next turn. So, like, leveling doesn't feel as bad. And by free roll, I mean we have 7 gold, which is, like, the most awkward amount of gold to have. Like, this is a really nice little combo we got going on here. However, if we have a roll next turn, we might as well go to 3 because we have some recovery. So I'm just going to do it anyways. Hey-o. If you want to do stuff, just start putting it out there. You'll get better with time. And when you want to redo things, redo them. Gotta start somewhere, right? Better now than it was. What do we got? 16 minions. Spend 30 gold. Summon 16 minions for Soul Pact. 30 gold is not bad for Hidden Body, especially with 𝔹𝕃ℂ𝔻. Yeah, let's do Hidden Body. I haven't done Hidden Body. I like the combo here. I want to roll, though. I really would like to roll. But not taking this combo feels like it probably would be a bad idea, so I'll do that. Okay, I'm glad. I'll take the ouchie demon. Just for an extra body on the board feels okay.
To battle stations, Tinker Townies!
This is so many gems. Holy butts. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, wait. How greedy can I be with this? So, we're 3 gold away, right? Next turn I saved 1 gold, which means I have 10 gold, which means next turn I can literally just level. Oh, this is not the song that I thought it was gonna be. Look at that. We're so safe. Let's go.
Everyone, a toast to the victor.
Wait, do I get to discover on 5? Yeah, I do. Heckin' yeah, let's go. I'm gonna save these for next turn. Man, she is greedy. Sometimes she forgets and then she does things like this and she's like, oh. This feels so good.
That was tremendous. Strong and ready to fight. Time to hire help?
Target practice.
I was hoping to spend more money this turn. I guess I could just bank this for whenever we need it.
Leroy Jenkins.
Oh. We are gonna feed this person. Wow. Okay, well that's weird. Leroy's the last one standing, but alright, sick. They're below damage cap. That's a nice thing. If damage cap still exists this turn, I don't know if it does or not. It does not. Oh yes, a gambler. I love to see a gambler. Wait.
Another star for my shop.
A bristlebach? Another bristlebach? Wait. Wait. We have no gem buffs is my issue.
The odds are in my favor.
Oh, man. Uh-oh. No! Oh, we're fine! Hey-oh! Yes, let's go. Damage to them.
You did it! I knew you would. That one has a bright future. You drive a hard bargain. The odds are in my favor.
Oh no! These are the board turns that have like so much time in them.
The odds are in my favor.
These could get ugly in the way that I could very much overdo. Wait. This shop? This shop is absurd. What? Yes, I accept. Oh my gosh. How do we do this? I guess we just do it next turn, I guess. We'll just get the one duo on the board. Are we gonna die though? I'm gonna pretend that we don't die here. Uh-oh. On the plus side, I'm feeling like we probably get value from our Tortolin. Uh-oh. No, the re-shields, no! Okay, yeah, we get Tortolin value, and we don't take all of the damage in the world. This is okay. No, we get first place, don't we? We do get the ghost!
That's all right.
Hello? How? What?
I would have chosen the same one.
Jazzer.
Another minion for the warband. You should get some minions on deck.
Piper and Jazzer.
I'll give you a good price.
A fine place to start.
I'm bacon.
Join the party, recruit.
Uh-oh.
Watch out! There's Reuben here. Come at me. Quilled in B minor. Quilled in B minor. Destroy! Note pairs and formal wear.
Wanna see the voodoo I do?
3, 4.
I actually think Bristlebox kind of silly here. We probably get rid of that. I kind of wanted to play the Boogie Monster because we have so much gold and so much value. We spent 30 gold this turn. That's so much gold. Oh, oh. That was such a good turn. What's up, BR? How are you? Nobody died. Holy farts. Okay, we're gonna see them on their spike turn, which I'd really rather not do, but I don't think we have much of a choice there.
2, 3, 4.
This is the longest turn ever.
Wanna see the voodoo I do?
And I'll catch you next.
Really? Like, this is actually the thing? There's so many triples. We have just every end of turn we possibly could ever want in life.
Safety restrictions offline. Harvesting servos engaged.
Changed your mind again? That's all right.
I would like one more taunt maker since I went ahead and just did that. Because I was feeling in a silly, goofy mood.
The odds are in my favor.
I mean, we're just gonna be out of all of that then.
Who did this? 2, 3, 4.
Strong and ready to fight.
Sacred ground.
Don't slip up now. You've got this.
All right, so that was a lot. That was a whole lot. That was fantastic. Wow, I'm so happy that got taunted. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. Wow, they avoided death. If they had, oh my goodness, oh my goodness.
Everyone, a toast to the victor.
Let's just remind ourselves that this got 24-24 in one turn. Plus 24 plus 24.
Practice makes perfect.
I'll do what I can.
Uh-oh. 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 Hurry up, please. Hurry up, please.
The frozen winds guide me. Bury the bones, lost to the past. Come at me.
Stay the course and celebrations will be in order.
This is so long. Longest combats of our lives. I think I broke something. Oh, sorry. Longest end of turn of our lives. Excuse me. Yes, you're right. What's up, Pickle King? With the perfect cleave at the end. Oh my gosh.
That was tremendous.
To the moon, y'all.
I would have chosen the same one.
She sells seashells. She sells seashells.
Time to hire help?
Wait. Wait, that turn was so quick, though. Uh-oh.
You're at the very top.
This is so absurd. And we don't even have buff gems. These are +1, +2. Absurd. We haven't seen them for 7 turns. Okay, I have 1 minute.
You should get some minions on deck.
Uh-oh. Do I burn the Discover?
She sells seashells.
Bury the bones, lost
Oh. Okay. Wait, please don't hit all the little individual oh my goodness. So this is a game that happened. Welcome back, Rob. I don't understand what's going on, but I will take it. Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Ray, and I have a game for you today. This game, so admittedly, the games before this were not going so well, and this was my last game of stream, but Calico's builds don't happen for me that often, but you know, I love a good Branagerie, which is a Bran menagerie of 3 different minion types, and that absolutely happened, and we got a really, really fun Calico situation. Didn't really turn into a full Calico situation until almost the very end of the game, but undoubtedly it was really fun to watch, really fun to get done, so enjoy the game. Thanks for watching. Who is that? Is that a person? That's real?
Gather round for the hottest game this midsummer. That one has a bright future.
What a weird timeline that would be. Happy Sunday, we were very productive in the yard this morning, Sage's wife. Nice! Happy to hear that, Neptune. I'm sorry. I remember seeing your name up there, which I'm proud of myself for that one. And then, depending on your settings, some people don't change the settings and you can get subs to channels you've never even been to. Or like, if people come from a raid and they're asleep, they could get a sub to that channel. I think in general, the hope of like gifted subs is to like get someone into your channel that wouldn't normally be there or like hasn't spent a lot of time there, I think. Again, complete conjecture, not 100% facts. Ooh. Ooh. Should we play a demon game? I love a demon game. I love a demon game. Does that make up for the Chad block game? Are you all less mad at me now? Or theoretically more mad at me?
Changed your mind again? That's all right.
Neptune, did you bring enough to share with the class? That sounds amazing! Hi, bees! Why are you mad at me? Oh, because of Chadlock? I think it was Kurt that posted a thing about streamers with ADHD not remembering what they said 2 seconds ago, and since Kurt posted that, I've thought about it so many times. What am I supposed to be doing? Oh yes, that's right. I have a goal again. Goal reacquired. No need for concern. That's beautiful. 𝔹𝕃ℂ𝔻 is making a haunted house right now. That's beautiful. Well done, 𝔹𝕃ℂ𝔻. I'm excited to see more of it. Thanks for sharing. What you don't like about Chad is those games where the Discord... Are we almost there? Almost. This should be like easy peasy there, right? I love this song. But on like a really random note here that I'm thinking about right now, I am very excited for y'all to see some of the changes coming in a week. Some of this stuff is not like anything I've ever done before, and I'm stoked. I will write a scathing review. I want this 𝔹𝕃ℂ𝔻, but also I would need a soul rewinder first. We're getting a pony! Freedom. Biff has been laying here this whole time and I had no idea he was here, and he just stretched and terrified me. Sweet baby. He's got the stretchiest little limbs. We did it! That's icky. That's super icky. Dear Soul Rewinder. Now. Or else. This corpse refiner is just really refining some corpses, if I do say so myself. I have strong feelings about this. All right, we'll see you later, Johnny. Enjoy grocery shopping. I need to go grocery shopping too. That worked out really well for us. Oh, I think I'm about to do something impulsive. Am I? No. Maybe. I mean, that wasn't the impulsive part. I was just thinking about doing a pivot here.
I'll take that deal. Here's your coin.
I can still do the impulsive thing. Nah. I'll wait. Yeah. Yeah.
If it ain't broke, still fix it.
Heckin' BS, yes. Sometimes grocery shopping can be fun. Depending on if you like grocery shopping or not, I guess that would make it fun or not fun. Streamers DoorDash every meal. Watched a Street Fighter match from Evo. Heckin' yeah, I love that! That's amazing sync! Heck yeah, what a boss. That makes me so happy. We tied.
How are the festivities going?
I got it. Second hand. Reanimated.
Whoa, that'll pack a punch.
Reanimated. Repugnant. Blood feeling punchy.
Okay, so hear me out. I know I said demons, but like also, we really, really kind of hit the jackpot here with undead. And I feel like it would be, oh, sick. Oh my gosh, the boogie monster. Okay, all right. Hear me out again, but not right now. In a little bit, hear me out again. Also, I said, okay, hear me out. So, like, y'all can't even be upset about it. It's true facts. I said it. I did it. Nobody can be mad at me. Ew, don't do that. Nobody wants that. Except, I mean, you probably do, because that's helpful to what you're doing, but... That was just a lot of stats that we just got, wasn't it? Oh, you're super dead now. And I'm super not dead, which is weird. Could I say it again? I can't, because I can't remember what I said in the first place. But if I did, I would. I need a 1.
Do you see that? A triple.
That's weird. That's super weird. Why would I do that? I guess to discover a thing, I guess. Can I have a 1 drop, though? Can I just... I don't get to have a 1 drop? Alright, so I guess we'll just wait another turn. That's fine. Fall Out Boy Live was so good. So good. I am also not going. And I'm sad about it, but also... There's so many good album playthroughs happening this year, and also the lineup this year is better than it's been in a really long time. Murph, thanks that follow. Welcome, welcome. Can I please have a 1 drop? Pretty please? Y'all, this is kind of absurd. I don't think it should be this hard to find a 1.
Second hand. Time to hire help?
Oh my gosh, where are the 1 drops?
Get some minions.
There's a 1. My goodness. One, 2, 3. Oh heck. Oh no. Are we gonna do the same thing with 4 drops? There's a 4. Goodness me. 4. 5.
For justice. Practice makes perfect.
You drive a hard bargain.
I feel like we're in a good spot here, I think. Didn't save my trip to Chicago for around that time. Well, I ended up seeing Fall Out Boy in Chicago, which was cool, but hadn't seen my parents in a while, so just wanted to see them. But yeah, no, you're right. But I'm going to Furnace Fest, and that's like the weekend after. Yeah, you put a little boogie in it. Yes. That's forever my favorite dad joke with Boogie Monster. Hey, Lexi Cat! My Sunday's lovely. How's yours? I thought it was Monday. I got a lot of work done today. It was good. Alright. I guess we have turned the tides. Hi, Chris! Our undead are very, very healthy. They are healthy undeads. Can I have more 6-drops? There's a 6-drop. Also, so many Anubaraks, but I'm not really playing undead anymore. I'm just kind of playing stuff that is in the vein of.
I have my eye on you. For justice.
Finally got a win. Played 15 games today. Only lost 500 MMR. That sounds like my kind of day. You got a win though. GG's. Cool people live there. Yes, because it is very cold. I see what you did there. Or were you not doing that and I did that? And lame ones move away. Oh no, you were not doing that. And you just called me lame. That's fine. I'm not offended. I'm only entirely upset, and that has ruined my whole day. Just kidding. Okay, it's like really... No, I moved in November of last year, and it was like 30 degrees in the winter, so like I would like it to not happen again like that. Hi, John! Are we pouting already? Yes. Yes, we are. That is true. That's fair, Bees. Dear 6-drops, show yourselves. Like in the Frozen song. P.S. If you haven't seen Frozen 2, it's so good. Which is like so random because it came out forever ago. But on the very, very slight chance that someone here hasn't seen it yet, you should. Not me thinking about the fact that I don't want to play the percussionist because I don't want to take the damage, but also like we're at 41 health and in top 2, so I should just play it and do it, but I don't want to. I mean, I think if there was a 6-drop here, I would have. It's, that was my favorite part of when I took my road trip last year, was just all the nature, just so beautiful. Really stunning. And there's so much of the country that you don't get to see when you're like flying or whatever, because you miss it while you're flying. That was beautiful too, that hit.
私は生きていてはいけない人間です。愛してはならない人を愛してしまいました。何度も諦めようと思いました。でも、いくら胸に溢れるこの思いを封じ込めようとしても、あの人の姿を一目見ただけで、その決意は崩れてしまう。私の思いを知ればあの人は、間違いなく私を厭う。厭うどころではなく、二度と顔を見たくないと、嫌悪をあらわにするでしょう。だから私は死ぬのです。今ならまだあの人は、私の気持ちに気づいていない。私が死ねば、きっと悲しんでくれることでしょう。私を思い起こすとき、できることなら、悲しみに暮れてほしい。涙を流してほしい。なぜ死んだのだと取り乱してほしい。それが過ぎた望みだというのなら、せめて、私を時々は思い出してほしい。温かな思い出とともに。あの人を愛していました。心から、永遠に。なのでお願いします。あの人に、私の思いが知られませんように。 美しい、心温まる思い出として、いつまでもあの人の胸の中で、私が生き続けることができますように。
キャラ CD コレクション。修道レナ原作。
法医学者と刑事の相性。
冬木さん、これ、マジやばいっすよ。
何がやばいもんかよ、石田。そんな手紙、いたずらだ、いたずら。
でも冬木さん、その若さで准教授だし、法医学界でもカリスマだから、誰かに恨まれてるってことも。
誰が若いだ？もう32だっつの。
けど、すごく綺麗だし、狂信的なファンがストーカー化して。
バカバカしい。
バカバカしいって、ちゃんと読んだんですか？
なんとなくはな。
なんとなくって、なんですか？いいですか？読みますよ。冬木准教授殿、今こそ、お前が過去に犯した罪を償う時だ。間もなくお前は全世界に対し、己の罪を悔いる告白をすることになるだろう。犯した罪の重さを、人の死の重さを、己の命をもって思い知るがいい。お前の罪は消えない。お前の命が尽きるまで。どうです？やっぱり脅迫状ですよ。警察に届けましょう。
自分の身くらいは自分で守れる。
だけど。
大体俺は罪を犯した覚えなんてねえっつの。法医学者の俺の罪は解剖所見の見立て誤りを指してるんだろうが、俺はミスなんぞ犯しちゃいねえんだよ。
でも。
さっき解剖した遺体の所見をまとめるぞ。お前も働け。
冬木さん。心配だな。そうだ。もしもし、ミキか？俺、石田。今、ちょっといいか？実は、冬木さんのことで相談があるんだけど。
ちょっといいか？
石田、知り合いか？
いいえ。
武将髭によれたスーツ。ずいぶんうさんくさいなりだな。
警視庁捜査一課の江夏だ。
警察手帳。江夏高見警部補。本物だ。
脅迫状について事情を聞かせてもらえるか？
江夏高見？こいつ、あの時の刑事だ。2ヶ月ほど前、電話でバカバカしいクレームをつけてきた本庁の江夏。
昨日、あんたが鑑定した視察隊の件だがな。あの死亡推定時刻はありえない。すぐ調べ直してくれ。
あの遺体は発見が早かったから死亡推定時刻にズレはない。これははっきりしてる。
その時間には容疑者にアリバイがあるんだよ。だからもう一度調べ。
お前が容疑者を見誤ってんだろ。ふざけんな。結局犯人はこいつの言っていた容疑者だった。巧妙なアリバイ工作をものすごい粘りで崩したらしいが、俺には詫び一つなかったな。
おい。睨んでねえで事情を聞かせろっつんだよ。脅迫状が来たんだろ。
あんなものただのいたずらだ。
いたずらかどうかを調べてやるって言ってんだよ。まずは現物見せろや。
いらんと言ってるだろ。誰も頼んでない。
頼んでねえだと？お前んとこの石田って女子か？うちのミキに依頼があったんじゃねえか。
石だ。
すいません。心配だったもので、つい。
早く見せろや。
警察も暇じゃないんだろ。いいからとっとと帰れ。
暇じゃねえから。こうして宿直明けの俺がこき使われてんだよ。
はい、増田法医学教室。はい。わかりました。すぐ向かいます。石田、新宿区内で自殺とおぼしき若い男性の遺体が発見された。行くぞ。
はい。
おい。
これから遺体の検案に行く。石田が何を言ったか知らんが、あの脅迫状はいたずらだ。事情を話す気も暇もない。
お前な。
ネクタイを使っての首吊り、医師に間違いなさそうですね。
ああ。推定死後17、8時間。目立った外傷なし。
ドアノブにネクタイをかけ、座った状態での首吊り。最近多いですよね。
この体の下のレジャーシート。
湿菌対策ですかね。本人の指紋が出たようですし、足元が乱れないように膝の上と足首がネクタイで縛ってあると。このネクタイからも本人の指紋が出たということは、やはり自殺でしょうか。
まあ、解剖してみないことにはな。
先生、自殺ではないんですか？
遺書でも出ましたか、沢田刑事。
いや、ですが、施錠されてましたし、第一発見者から高橋さんが、遺体の名前ですが、彼がこのところひどく悩んでいたという証言を得ましたので、あそこで話している男性が、その第一発見者です。
なんだ、あの男。俺を見ている。
大学時代からの友人だそうです。昨日、ひどく落ち込んだ声で電話をしてきた後、連絡が取れなくなり、心配になってマンションを訪ねてきたところ、遺体を発見したそうです。
そうですか。
冬木さん、何か気になることでも？
まあな。とりあえず、解剖して遺体の最後の声を聞いてからだな。結局、解剖してもあの遺体からは自殺という結論以外のものは出なかった。だが、この違和感は何だ？いつものように真剣に遺体と向き合った。だが、声が聞こえてこない。高橋勝、27歳。覚悟の自殺だったのか、胃の中はほぼ空っぽで、床にレジャーシートを敷いていたのはいい。だが、両足をネクタイできっちり縛っていたのはなぜだ？女なら死んだ後に足が開くのを避けたいと思ってもおかしくはないが。なんだ？今一瞬何かが頭をかすめたような。くそ。誰だ？離せ。ナイフ。あっち。高志。
何者だ！
待て！追わなくていい。あれは俺の知り合いだ。
ああ、おい、どういうことだ？
それより、なんであんたがここにいるんだ？
お前に脅迫状が来たからだろうが。
だから見張っていたと？こんな時間まで？
仕事だからな。それより今の男、誰なんだ？きっちり説明してもらおうじゃねえか。おい、どうなんだよ。
わかった。乗れよ。
で、なんでお前ともんじゃ屋に来なきゃならねえんだ？
徹夜明けの刑事さんの労をねぎらいたかったから。
だったら俺に注文くらい聞けや。
生ビールは嫌いだったか？
いや、これでいい。
好きならいいじゃねえか。
そういう問題じゃなくてな。慣れたもんだな。
月島のもんじゃは子供の頃から食ってるからな。
なんだ、その年で実家住まいか？
いや、親は5年前に交通事故で死んだ。家はその時売り払った。今は一人でマンション暮らしだ。
悪かった。
謝ることはな。知らなかったんだから。
知らなかったとはいえ、悪かった。
へえ、見かけによらず。
なんだ？
いや、さあ、もう食えるぜ。
で、そろそろ話す気になったか？脅迫状はお前の留守中に学生に頼んで見せてもらった。今指紋を取らせているが、あれもさっきのお前の知り合いとやらが出したもんなのか？
いや、脅迫状は違う。心当たりがまるでない。
だが
ナイフで襲ってきた人間には心当たりがあると？
悪いんだが、さっきのあれについちゃ見なかったことにしてもらえねえかな。
はあ？あんたナイフ突きつけられてたじゃねえか。なんで見なかったことにできんだよ。あいつは誰なんだ？なぜかばう？今後襲わないという保証はあるのか？
あれは別れたばかりの恋人だ。いわば血は喧嘩だ。声でけえよ。
ああ、すまん。いや、でもあれ男じゃなかったか。
男だ。
ってことはあんたゲイ？
そうだ。別れる別れないで少し揉めたんだ。刺すつもりはないと思う。俺も訴える気はない。そういうわけだからこれでファイルクローズだ。
あのよ、立ち入ったことを聞いていいか？
別にいいけど。
どうして別れることになったんだ？
は
あ、いや、別れたい相手だったらこれ幸いと被害届を出すんじゃねえかと思ったんだ。あんたなんでかばうんだ？
ともかく警察沙汰は困るんだ。全部説明するからここはお前一人の胸に収めてもらえないか。
分かった。
奴とは大学時代から10年以上付き合ってきた。同業の医者だ。奴の実家は地方の大病院なんだが、この間奴の妹さんが俺のところに来てさ、親父さんが癌で余命いくばくもないんだと。だから奴を実家に戻るよう説得してくれって言うんだ。親父さんは生きてるうちに奴が結婚して病院を継ぐことを願ってるってな。妹さんは俺たちの関係を調べたみたいで、奴が東京に留まる理由が俺にあると思ったらしい。
そうか。
だから俺は別れを切り出した。でも奴は納得できないとごね。それでも無視し続けたらさっきの襲撃だ。まあここまで来たら妹さんに連絡して兄貴を説得してもらうつもりだ。10年も付き合ったのにただ別れるじゃまあ納得できないだろうしな。
10年付き合ってきたのはお前も一緒だろう。別れちまってよかったのかよ。
死にかけた親の希望だ。叶えてやりたいと思うじゃねえか。
お前はなんつうかいいやつだな。
別にいいやつじゃねえよ。
いけすかねえ野郎だと思ってたか。
いけすかねえとはなんだよ。
だからいいやつだって言ってんじゃねえかよ。まあ飲もうぜ。おばちゃん生2つおかわり。しかしそうか、ゲイだったのか。
なんだよ、悪いかよ。
誤解すんなよ。別に差別する気はねえ。単に驚いただけだ。
お前こそいいやつじゃねえか。
はい、生2つお待ちどう。
ところでお前は独身か？
ああ。
男やもめ？
誰がやもめだ。独身貴族だ。
子供が3人くらいいそうに見えるぜ。
なわけねえだろ。だいたい俺がいくつだと思ってるんだ。
45。
バカ野郎、まだ38だ。うるせえって。
老けてんな。
余計なお世話だ。
結婚とか考えなかったわけ？
仕事でそれどころじゃなかったからな。
仕事ね。
なんだよ。
モテねえ言い訳じゃねえの？
ああ、そうだよ。モテねえよ。これでいいか。おばちゃん、勘定。
江夏高見か。思わずからかっちまったが正直気に入った。こいつは自分の仕事に誇りを持って人一倍努力している。2ヶ月前のあの失礼なクレームも仕事に一生懸命だったからなんだろう。そういう人間は信頼できる。
さあ行くぞ。
どこへ？
歩きだろう。お前の家まで送る。 元彼が襲ってくるかもしれねえだろ。
は
なんだよ。
あ、いや、本当に仕事熱心だと思ってさ。
俺だって好きでお前を送るわけじゃねえんだからな。
そりゃそうだろうよ。
わかったら、すぐにも奴の妹に連絡入れろよ。
刺されてもいいんだけどな。
なんだと？
冗談だよ。奴を殺人犯にさせるわけにはいかねえからな。
お前。
おはようございます、冬木さん。
おはよう。石田、昨日の解剖所見、もう一回見せてくれ。
はい。
やはり気になるのは、膝と足首を縛っていたことだ。女性ならわかる。女性なら。あ？
どうしたんです冬木さん。
石田、すぐ検索かけてくれ。2年、いや、3年前。
なんだよ、朝から騒がしいな。
お前！
よ、昨べはどうも。例の件電話したが気になってな。それから脅迫状。
電話ならちゃんとした。それより、いいところに来た。3年前の OL の自殺、すぐ調べてくれ。場所は荻窪。昨日敬愛した男と全く同じ状態で亡くなっていた女性がいたはずだ。
なんだと？他になんかねえのかよ。せめて何月とか、遺体の特徴とか。
夏、いや、6月だった。遺体の女性は翌週結婚する予定で、ジューンブライドだったのにと言われてた。年齢は22。第一発見者は彼女の兄で、なかなか自殺だと納得せず、何度も警察に来たと所轄の刑事から聞いた気がする。
ああ、俺だ。すぐ調べてくれ。3年前の6月、女性の自殺体だ。場所は荻窪、22歳 OL。第一発見者は兄で、自殺とは納得できず、所轄に何度も来たそうだ。荻窪だから杉並署だな。そっちにも問い合わせてくれ。なんか分かったら、すぐに連絡をくれ。ああ、頼む。おい、どういうことだ？説明してくれ。
ああ、これを見てくれ。この写真、両足を縛った跡があるだろう。女性ならわかるんだ。死んだ時に足が開いているのはみっともないという心理からきっちりと縛るケースはある。だが、男がそんなことを気にすると思うか？
まあ、人によるとしか言いようがないが。
それから、遺体の下にあったレジャーシート。あれが同じ柄なんだ。
柄？
ああ、銀色でビールメーカーのロゴが入ってた。3年くらい前の検証か何かでもらえるものだったと思う。だから違和感があったんだ。3年前の遺体も確かそのシートを敷いていた。
それは確かか？
ああ、間違いない。
おい、俺だ。さっきの3年前の事件、至急ファイルをこっちに届け。え？なんだと、本当か？わかった。すぐファックスで送ってくれ。
おい、どうしたんだよ。
昨日、お前が解剖した遺体。
ああ。
その3年前の事件の女性の婚約者だそうだ。
ファックスで来ました。
今回の被害者、高橋勝は、3年前の自殺体、大見純子さんの婚約者。そして今回の第一発見者が、大見正和、大見純子の兄だ。
そんな偶然、ありえるか？
それより、レジャーシートだったよな。同じだ。
これは、偶然じゃねえな。
3年前の現場を正確になぞっているか。おい、どうしたよ。顔色が悪いぜ。おい。
あ、いや、その調書をちょっと見せてもらっていいか？
ああ。
はっきり覚えてる。この遺体は何もかもが自殺を物語っていた。遺書こそなかったが、友人知人みんなが、このところ彼女はひどく思い詰めている様子だったと証言してたし、解剖結果も自殺以外ありえなかった。なのに、彼女の兄だけはどうしても納得できないと、俺のところにも一度電話をかけてきたんだ。
電話？
ああ。
純子は絶対に自殺ではありません。
警察から詳しい説明があったかと思いますが、私も同じことしか言えません。残念ですが、妹さんは自殺だったとしか。
あり
えない。昨日現場にいた第一発見者があの時の兄、近江正勝ということか。あの男のあの目。
どうしたよ？
もしかしたらこいつかもしれない。
脅迫状か。お前に恨みがあると。
ファックスの続きが来ました。これなんですけど。
なんだと？
どうした？
例の脅迫状から高橋勝の指紋が検出された。
まさかあの遺体の青年が脅迫状を出したっていうのか？
じゃあ俺は行くわな。
行くってどこへ？
近江のところに決まってんだろうが。事情聴取だ。
それなら俺も連れてってくれ。
おいおい、お前本気で言ってんのか？
本気だ。
これがバレたら懲戒もんだ。
その年で警部補だったら出世諦めてんだろ？
まだ38だっつうの。ほら行くぞ。
感謝するぜ45歳。
38だ。
すげえな。ここいわゆるオークションってやつだろ？近江って何者なんだ？
父親が大手製薬会社のオーナー社長で、その跡取り息子だそうだ。
確かに育ちの良さそうな顔してるな。
亡くなった純子さんとは腹違いらしい。近江の母親は早くに亡くなって、その後親父さんは若い5歳を迎えた。それが純子さんの母親だ。腹違いでも兄弟仲は良かったらしいから、妹の死を自殺と認められなかったんだろうが。
お待たせしました。どうぞ。
早速ですが、お話を伺っても。
はい。そちらの方は？
私の同僚です。
刑事さんですか。それなら手帳は？
高橋さんの件ですが、第一発見者でいらしたんですよね。
はい。前夜から連絡が取れず気になりまして、マンションを訪ねたんです。
部屋は施錠してあったんですね。
はい。管理人に頼んで開けてもらいました。驚きましたよ。まさか自殺を図っていたなんて。本当に痛ましい限りです。
笑った？
高橋さんが自殺される心当たりはありますか？
全くありません。悩んでいる様子ではありましたが、でも、あの状況はどう見ても自殺なんですよね。
近江さん、あなたそれは一体。
どういう意味です？
ですから、あの死に様は自殺と断定されて叱るべきものなんですよねと申し上げたんですよ。3年前、僕の妹があれと全く同じ状況で亡くなりましてね。自殺とは思えないと何度も警察に足を運んだのですが、答えはいつも一緒でした。解剖の結果、自殺と判断されたんです。自殺に間違いありませんと。
おい !3 年前が自殺だったから、今回も自殺に違いねえとでも言いてえのか？
だってそうでしょう。ねえ。
近江さん、私に脅迫状を出したのは、あなたですか？
はぁ何のことです。刑事さんを脅迫した覚えなんか、ありませんけど。
一昨日の23時頃、どこで何をしていました？
まさか僕をお疑いなんですか？友人と近所のバーで飲んでいましたよ。連絡先が必要でしたら持ってきますが。
お願いします。
少々お待ちください。
おい、どうした？真っ青だぞ。
また同じだ。
3年前、高橋のアリバイも、友人とバーで飲んでた、だったな。
ああ。
友人の名刺です。携帯の番号を下に書いておきました。
ありがとうございます。それでは、これで。またお話を伺いにお邪魔するかもしれません。
いつでもどうぞ。
脅迫状はこいつで間違いないだろう。では、高橋の自殺は、まさか。
冬木さん、どうしたんです？帰ってくるなり遺体の確認だなんて。大見のところで何かあったんですか？
それより下、高橋さんのこの部分、お前どう思う？警部の索痕、かすかだが二重になってないか？二重になるのは二度首が締まったためだろう。一度では死にきれずに二度体重をかけたのか、それとも昨日俺は索痕が二重になってると言ったか？
いえ、おっしゃってません。
そうか。悪い、あとは頼む。
冬木さん？
よ
う、帰ったんじゃなかったのか？
いや、ちょっとな。
もしかしてずっと待っててくれたのか？
顔色が悪いな。どうかしたか？
悪い、ちょっと付き合ってもらえるか？
付き合うって。なんだか知らないが分かったよ。行こう。おい、どこへ向かってるんだ？
ここだ。
おい、こんな銀座の高そうな店、連れてこられても困るんだが。
安心しろ、今夜は俺のおごりだ。
おごられる理由がねえ。それにまだ6時だ。準備中じゃねえの？
あら、冬木さん。どうしたの？
隅っこでいいんで、飲ませてくれないか？
おい！
あなたたちはミーティングを続けて。ボトルと氷持ってきて。冬木さん、何か食べる？
今はいい。
いらっしゃいませ。どうぞお座りになって。
ママ、彼、刑事、江夏さん。江夏さん、こちら京香ママ。
よろしくお願いします。
あら、刑事さんなの？てっきり、冬木さんの新しい彼氏かと思ったわ。
彼氏？
ここまで趣味落ちてねえよ。
江夏さん、ハンサムじゃないの。
おい。
京香ママは俺がゲイだと知ってる唯一の人間だ。
唯一じゃないじゃない。江夏さんも知ってるんでしょ？
お前、いつもそんな高い酒飲んでんのか？
いや、これはママの行為だ。
どうぞ。それじゃあ、開店準備があるから、私はこれで。
ありがとう、ママ。
バカね。お礼なんて言うもんじゃないわよ。江夏さん、失礼します。
おい、お前と彼女。
乾杯！
ああ。もったいねえ。こんな高い酒を一気かよ。
いいから飲もうぜ。
おい、お前この店に貸してもあるのかよ。
まあ、貸しかな。あの京香ママ、俺の生みの母なんだ。
嘘だろ！
声でかい。ま、信じられない気持ちはわかる。俺の姉って言っても通る見た目だからな。でも、店内では言うなよ。ホステスたちには隠してるからな。
言わねえよ。
京香ママはよ、俺を産んですぐ男作って家出しまったんだ。両親の葬式で再会したんだが、俺を捨てたことを後悔しててな。援助させてくれって申し出てきた。親父の再婚相手は俺を可愛がってくれたし、なんせ赤ん坊だったからまるで記憶はねえしで、別にいいって言ったんだが、 罪悪感なんだろうな。どうしてもって聞かねえんだよ。だからこうしてたまに飲みに来るんだ。高い酒をな。
そうか。
あれ？引いた？
引いちゃいねえよ。
引いてもいいぜ。自分でもなんでこんなこと喋ってんのかよくわからね
え。おい、飲みすぎだろ。
たかしにも話したことねえのにな。
え？たかし？こいつの元彼か？あの時の。
まあ、そういうわけだから、お前もどんどん飲め。な。乾杯。
乾杯。ああ、もったいねえ。
ケチくせえ。
おい、生きてるか？
無事。
おい、ひっつくな。離れろ。
なんだよ。ゲイだからって差別か？
ちげえよ。
冬木さん、大丈夫？
大丈夫。
全然大丈夫じゃないわね。冬木さん、何かあったのかしらね。
さあ。それじゃ俺、送っていきますんで。おい、そろそろ行くぞ。
ママ、ごめん。
バカね。何も謝ることないじゃないの。
ボトル飲んじゃった。
あら、そう。また入れておくわ。今度はお寿司でも一緒に食べましょう。
実の母と息子か。ほら、お前の家に着いたぞ。しっかりしろ。それじゃあな。
悪い。水もらえるか？
え？ああ。台所は。ほら起きろ。水だぞ。飲めるか？
サンクス。
おい、落とすな。ったく、酔っ払いが。おい、背中に乗るな。重い。どけって。
悪い。抱いてくれ。
は？何言ってんだよ。おい、大丈夫か？とにかくお前は寝ろ。ほら。おい、ベルト外すなって。何の冗談だ。やべ。おい。くそ。おい、それ以上。おい、お前、服脱いで乗っかんな。お前、何しやがる。嘘だろ。お前。くそ。
いいぜ。そんな調子。
お前が下に来れ。
もう一回やろうぜ。大きくなった。本当に申し訳なかった。どうかしていた。無理だと思うが、昨日のことは忘れてくれ。
忘れろって、忘れられるわけねえだろうが。
男に襲われたんだもんな。土下座したからって許されねえよな。だが、できれば犬に噛まれたようなものだと思って。
犬に噛まれたって、全然違うだろうが。
まあ、そうだよな。とにかく、本当に申し訳なかった。できれば許してもらいたい。
許すとか許さねえとか、そういうんじゃなくてよ。ただ驚いてるだけだから、ひとまず頭を上げてくれ。綺麗な顔だ。この顔で、あの乱れ方。いかんいかん。とにかく、事情を説明してくれや。なんで昨日俺を飲みに誘ったんだ？飲まなきゃいられねえことでもあったのか？
怖くなった。
え？
怖くなった。3年前、俺は果たして正しい鑑定をしたんだろうかと。
どういうことだ？
昨日、もう一度高橋さんの遺体を確認したんだ。そこで初めて、首の索痕が二重になっていることに気づいた。その途端、不安でたまらなくなった。3年前の自殺体、首の索痕は二重ではなかったのか。状況が自殺を指しているという先入観が、俺の目を曇らせてはいなかったか。それを思うともう、怖くてたまらなくなった。3年前、俺は正しい鑑定をしたんだろうかって。死んだ人間は何も語れない。その声を正しく聞いてやることが俺の仕事で、彼らの人権を守るためにも、決して間違っちゃいけない。そう思って、日々遺体と向き合ってる。でも、いつも不安で、胸が押しつぶされそうなんだ。俺は最後の声を正確に聞いてやれたんだろうかと。判断がつかなくて眠れない時もある。それなのに、俺は高橋さんの索痕を見逃した。同じ見逃しを3年前にしなかったという自信はない。だから。
いや、お前は見逃してなんかね。もし3年前にも、索痕が二重になっていたとしたら、お前は気づいたはずだ。今回気づいたのと同様にな。
でも、
今回気づいたもんを、なぜ3年前に気づかなかったと思うんだ。その方がよっぽど不自然だろうがよ。俺だって同じだ。いつも不安を抱えている。容疑者を逮捕するとき、これは冤罪ではないだろうかって。こいつの思いは、俺の思いと同じだ。
俺は、
お前は、見逃しなんてしてね。
俺は、
間違ってね。大丈夫だ。
そうやってパリッとしたスーツを着てると、それなりに見られるじゃねえか。
ああ、悪いな。プレスどころか洗濯までしてもらって。
ま、詫びの代わりだと思ってくれ。朝食もな。
朝飯なんて久しぶりに食った。いつも作ってんのか？
いや、俺も一人の時は朝抜くんだけどよ。
元彼のために作ってたってわけか。とにかく、今回の事件は俺たちの読み通りで間違いないようだな。
ああ。おそらく高橋さんは自殺じゃなく、大見に殺された。
俺はまず、あいつのアリバイを崩すわ。
ああ。
じゃあな、また連絡する。
ああ。ほんと、あれだけバシッとしてると男前じゃねえか。何いつまでも見送ってんだ俺。バカじゃねえの。とにかく事件だよな。一つだけどうしてもわからないことがある。なぜ大見は妹の死から3年も経った今頃こんな行動に出たのか。
おう、邪魔するぜ。
あれ、江夏さん。今日はやけに小ざっぱりしてますね。シャツにもスーツにもアイロンがかかってるし、髭も剃ってる。怪しいな。彼女の家から出勤ですか？
それよりどうした？何か分かったのか？
それが、余計分からなくなっちまった。
え？
動機よ。なんと大見、3ヶ月後に挙式予定らしい。
結婚？相手は？
大学時代から付き合っている同級生だそうだ。
このタイミングで結婚って、もしかしてできちゃったとかですかね？
いや、実は3年前に一度結婚の話が出たんだが、妹さんが亡くなった件で大見が荒れて、そこで一旦別れたそうだ。その後付き合いが復活したという話だった。
結婚するような野郎が人殺しなんかするか？だが、昨日の奴の態度は、やたらと挑発的だった。で、アリバイは？
これがまた崩れたんだな。大見に頼まれて偽証したと、すぐ白状した。
となると、やはり大見が高橋を？
わからねえ。大見と高橋の間にはトラブルもねえ。それどころか親友なんだと。大見の結婚式では、高橋に友人代表のスピーチを頼んでいたそうだ。
そういや、妹さんの自殺の原因ははっきりしてるのか？
いや、マリッジブルーだったんじゃないかという話が出ただけで、遺書はなかった。ただ彼女の場合は周囲が納得していた。婚約者の高橋もな。
だが、兄貴だけは納得していなかった。
その通り。
その件で、高橋と大見が揉めたという話はあったんだろうか？
それはないようだ。妹の死後、荒れた大見を献身的に支えてやったのが高橋だったという話だからな。大見も感謝していたらしい。
ますますわからないな。
ともかくだ。お前さんの見立てでも、高橋は自殺じゃねえんだろ？
高橋の遺体、最初から違和感があった。まるで彼が自殺じゃないと叫んでるみたいに。ああ、自殺じゃね
え。だから俺は動機を探す。それじゃな。
だからか。あいつは俺の鑑定を信じ、それを元に動くと言ってくれたのか。よし。
冬木さん、どこ行くんです？
遺体安置所。だったら俺は、高橋さんの最後の声、もう一度しっかりと聞いてこよう。大見の事情聴取が始まったらしい。これで真相が明らかになると思ったが。
もしもし、新宿署の沢田です。実は今、任意で大見を聴取している最中なんですが、先生に同席していただけないかと思いまして。
はい？
大見があなたがいらっしゃらない限り、一言も喋らないと頑張ってるんですわ。
私ですか？
そう。なぜだか先生をご指名なんです。 ちょっといらしてはもらえませんかね。
はあ。近江が俺を同席させる理由は、やはりあの脅迫状と関係しているんだろう。過去に犯した罪を全世界に向け謝罪しろと書いてあったが、そういうことか。高橋殺害の動機、それは3年前の俺の鑑定が間違っていたと世間に知らしめることだったのか。だがなぜ今になって。心当たりはある。だが心にやましいところはない。よし。
どうぞ先生、こちらです。
お待ちしてました、冬木先生。どうぞこちらへ。いやあ、やっぱりあなたが冬木先生だったんですね。一昨日は刑事と名乗ってらっしゃいましたが。
先生、近江さんとご面識があったんですか？
いや、そういうわけではなく。
僕と冬木先生の関係ですか。冬木先生は3年前、僕の妹の解剖をしてくださったんです。そして自殺だという誤った判断を下した。かわいそうに。妹は他殺だったのに、この先生のせいで捜査もされずに終わったんだ。ねえ先生、そうでしたよね。なんとか言ったらどうですか？
ちょっと近江さ
ん。落ち着いてください。あんた、本当によく調べたのか？状況だけで自殺と判断したんじゃないのか？
やめなさい！
先生、話しなさい！高橋はどうなんだ？あれは自殺か？あんた、最初に遺体を見たとき、自殺だと思ったんじゃないのか？妹の時のように、状況だけでさ！
離れなさい！
なんとか言えよ！言ってみろ！あんたは鑑定を誤った。純子は自殺なんかじゃなかった。認めろ！今すぐ認めろ！認めて俺に、いや俺だけじゃない、世間に土下座しろ！間違った判断をしてしまったとな！
いい加減にしないか！
純子が自殺なんかするわけがないんだ！自殺するほど悩んでるのなら、俺に打ち明けていたはずだからな！どうなんだよ、先生！俺は今も、彼女の死を自殺と断言できるのか？しっかりと彼女の最後の声を聞いたと言い切れるのか？本当に。
お前は、見逃しなんてしてねえ。間違ってねえ。大丈夫だ。
ああ、断言できる。純子さんは自殺だ。
なんだと。
そいつの言う通りだ。オミ、お前の妹は自殺だった。
江夏
さん！ふざけるな！なんでお前にわかる？
調べたからに決まってんだろうが！
いい加減なことを言うな！
説明すっから！まず座れや。大丈夫か？
ああ。説明してもらおうじゃないか。
その前に教えてくれ、オミ。お前が高橋さんを殺害した動機は何だ？彼が妹さんを殺したとでも思ったのか？やっぱりそうなんだな。読んでみろ。妹さんの遺書だ。
嘘だ！
嘘じゃねえ。高橋さんが借りていた貸金庫から出てきた。
嘘だ。嘘に決まってる。その遺書は偽物だ。
指紋は妹さんと高橋さんのものしか出なかった。筆跡も妹さんのもので間違いないだろう。高橋さんがこの遺書を隠したのは、妹さんが遺書の中で頼んだからだ。読めばお前も納得できるはずだ。
嫌だ。嫌だ。嫌だ。嫌だ！
いいから読め！本当ならお前は、これを読まずにいることができたんだ。高橋さんのおかげでな。だが彼を殺した今、お前にはこれを読む義務がある。読んで高橋さんの思いを知れ！読めや。 あんたも読んでみるか、先生。
高橋勝さん。私は生きてい
てはいけない人間です。愛してはならない人を愛してしまいました。何度も諦めようと思いました。でも、いくら胸にあふれるこの思いを封じ込めようとしても、あの人の姿を一目見ただけで、その決意は崩れてしまう。マサルさん、
本当にごめんなさい。あなたには何とお詫びをしたらいいのかわかりません。どうか、くれぐれも私が死ぬ理由を兄にだけは知らせないでください。実の兄を愛した汚れた女とだけは思われたくないのです。最後にもう一つだけわがままを言わせてください。兄のこと、これからもよろしくお願いいたします。どうかいつまでも支えてあげてくださいね、純子。
はい。高橋を殺したのは僕です。動機は刑事さんがおっしゃった通りです。僕にとって純子は目の中に入れても痛くない存在でした。純子が死んだ後、僕は荒れて、友人たちはみんな離れていきました。それでも高橋だけは僕の話し相手になり、面倒を見てくれたんです。それで結婚が決まって真っ先に報告したのですが、その時彼がほっとしたようにポロッと一言漏らしたんです。ようやく吹っ切れたんだねと。そのほっとした感じが気になって、僕は高橋を問い詰めました。純子の死について何か隠してるんじゃないかと。高橋は何もないと言いましたが、明らかに何かを隠している様子でした。今ならそれは純子の遺書のことだったとわかりますが、その時僕は純子を殺したのは高橋だと思い込んでしまったんです。だから彼を殺した。警察や解剖した冬木先生にも復讐してやりたいと思い、それで高橋のパソコンを使って脅迫状を出しました。
殺害方法は？
高橋の部屋で彼の手足の自由を奪い、胃を空っぽの状態にしてからネクタイで首を絞めました。その後、そのネクタイをドアノブにくくりつけ、自殺であるように偽装しました。
高橋さんは抵抗しなかったのか？
はい。全く抵抗しませんでした。てっきり純子を殺した罪滅ぼしだろうと思っていたんですが、どうして彼は抵抗しなかったんでしょう。純子は自殺だった、遺書もあると僕に見せれば死なずに済んだのに、なぜ？
純子さんに頼まれたからだろう。絶対にあんたに言うなと。
そんな。バカだ。死んでまで純子のわがままを聞いてやろうだなんて。バカだ。あいつは本当にバカだ。
高橋さんはあんたを悲しませたくなかったんだよ。妹さんの遺書を読んであんた号泣したじゃねえか。そんな思いをさせたくなかった。だから何も喋らなかった。それだけ高橋さんはあんたを思ってたってことだよ。だから黙って死んでいったんだ。それをバカなんて言えるかよ。なあ。
バカは僕だ。
しっかり後悔しろ。いいな。自分がやっちまったことをしっかり受け止めて、後悔すんだぞ。
高橋さん、友情は素晴らしいものだと思う。だが、友情のみで命を投げ出すことなど果たしてできるのだろうか。あなたはもしかして大見を安らかな死に顔だ。もしかしたら覚悟の自殺だったのかもしれない。本当にどうして今まで気づかなかったんだろう。口元がこれほど微笑んでいるように見えることを。高橋さん、どうか安らかに。食ったな。しかしなんで二人でもんじゃだったんだ？
水くせえこと言うなよ。お前と事件解決を祝いたかったって言っただろうが。
もしかしてお前、俺に惚れた？
なわけねえだろ。俺はゲイじゃねえ。
誰だろ
う。どうした？
いや、なんでもない。もしもし。
アツシか？僕だ。
高志。
話は全部、アキコから聞いた。どうして打ち明けてくれなかったんだ？ひどいじゃないか。
そういった事情だから、わかるよ。それじゃな。
待ってくれ！
なんだよ。
結婚は仕方ないからするし、病院も継ぐ。だが、僕たちの関係も続けたいんだ。毎月上京するから、これからも会ってもらいたい。いいだろう。
いいわけねえじゃねえか。俺に愛人になれって言うのかよ。
それは。
浮気前提で結婚なんてすんじゃねえ。結婚相手を大事にしやがれ。
おい、今の。
なんでもねえよ。
そうか。
よし、飲み直そう。俺の家で。
はあ？お前の家？
おう。つまみはねえが、酒はある。行こうぜ。ほら。
仕方ねえ。付き合ってやるか。乾杯！しかし、ずいぶん酒の種類が充実してるんだな。おまけにいい酒ばっかだし。うちにはビールくらいしかねえよ。
まあ、これからうちもそうなる。
ああ。元彼の趣味だったってことか。なあ、聞いていいか？
ああ、なんだ。
さっきの電話、元彼か？
ああ、そうだよ。
言い争っていたようだが、元彼なんて言ってきやがった？
お前な、それ聞いてどうすんだよ。
どうなんだ？
結婚しても関係を続けよう、だとよ。まったく、浮気前提で結婚する野郎がどこにいる？嫁さんが気の毒じゃねえか。
あのよ。
なんだよ。
人のことはいいから、お前自身はどうなんだよ。元彼の、まだ存在もしてねえ奥さんに気遣ってどうするよ。10年も付き合ってきてよ。親の頼みだからって別れちまって本当にいいのか？お前な、もっと自分に正直に生きていいと思うぜ。相手がどう思うかなんざ知ったこっちゃねえ。一度でいいからそんな生き方してみろよ。元彼の言うように、結婚した後付き合ってもいいじゃねえか。もっと自分の心に正直にだな。
待ってくれ。俺はそこまでいいやつじゃねえぜ。
え？
愛人になれたなんて、俺のプライドが許さなかった。だから別れたんだ。別れたのは俺の希望なんだよ。はあ、 嘘だな。俺は今までずっと人が望むことを考えて行動してきた。でも、それで不自由を感じたことなんてなかった。自分を抑えているつもりもない。それでも、傍からはそう見えるのだろうか。
強がってねえか。本当にそれでいいのかよ。
なんか、お前、いいやつだな。
なんだよ。からかうんじゃねえ。
からかってねえよ。本当にいいやつだと思ってな。うん。
それがからかってるって言うんだよ。
本当だったら、高志からの電話に憤って笑うことなんかできない夜だった。こうしていられるのは、こいつのおかげだ。
何じっと見てんだよ。
なんでもねえよ。ま、今夜は飲もうぜ。
おう。乾杯。
乾杯。は
あ、おい、大丈夫か。
水くれよ。
あれ、これって一昨日のデジャブか。なわけねえだろ。今日のこいつに一昨日のような不安はない。まさか俺はもう一度抱けると思ったのか。まるで俺がこいつを抱きたいみたいじゃねえか。
なんだよ。
なんでもねえ。ほら、水だ。おい、寝るなって。だけ、仕方ねえな。ほら、飲めよ。
なあ。
おい、いきなり抱きつくなって。なんだよ。
抱いてくれないか。抱いてくれよ。
いいのかよ。
服脱ごう。汚しちまう。何見てんだよ。ほら、手伝ってやる。
よせ、自分で脱げるって。
一人で裸になってんのが恥ずかしいんだよ。
可愛いじゃねえか。
バカなこと言ってねえで、さっさと脱ぎやがれ。ね入れてくれ。先に指でこ
う。指か。すげえ熱い。
もう早く
入れるぞ。
いいぜ。もっと。
悪い。早すぎた。
大丈夫。 なんつうか、悪かった。
いや、こっちこそ。
酔っ払っちまったんだ。まあ、犬に噛まれたようなものと。
あのよ。
なんだ。
つまり、お前、昨日元彼と正式に別れたんだよな。
え？
それならよ、俺と付き合わねえか？
何？
そんなに驚くことねえだろ。
だってお前、ゲイじゃねえだろ。
それがどうした？
ゲイじゃねえのに、俺と付き合いたい？
悪いかよ。
いや。
なんだよ。
どうにも信じられねえ。
はぁ？
お前、俺が好きなわけ？
おう。
マジか。
おう。第一印象は最悪だった。だが、そのうち他人のことばかり思いやるこいつに惹かれていった。誰にもわがままを言わないこいつに、俺がわがまま放題言わせてやりたい。
なんつうか、やっぱり信じられねえ。
信じろって。だから昨べも抱いたんだ。
だって、あれはほら、犬に噛まれたようなもんで。
何度も犬に噛まれるバカはいねえよ。
いや。
付き合えよ。いいだろ。
いや、困ったな。
もったいぶってんじゃねえよ。
なんでそう憎らしいことばっかり言うかね。
付き合え。
どうすっかな。
付き合えって。なあ。
考えておくわ。
ほんとに、お前は嫌な野郎だぜ。
何を？
大見に拘束され、ほぼ1日が経った。彼はおそらく、純子が亡くなった時と同じ状況を作るつもりなのだろう。あと数時間で死ぬ。それが分かっていてなお、僕の心に恐怖はない。純子と僕が惹かれ合ったのは、大見の存在があったからだ。純子が僕を好きになったのは、僕が大見の親友だから。そして、僕が純子を好きになったのは、彼女が大見の妹だから。僕らはずっと、そのことに気づかぬふりをしていた。結婚が決まった時にも、僕たちは互いの思いに目をつぶり、幸せになろうと心の底から誓い合うふりをした。彼女の遺書を読んだ時、死ぬことなどなかったと言ってやりたかった。僕も同じ思いだった。僕だって、愛してはならない人を愛していたのだ。もし打ち明けられていたなら、僕もまた、己の思いを打ち明けただろう。僕の愛している人は、君の兄だと。僕らはいい夫婦になれたはずだ。禁忌の思いを抱え、互いに慰め合い、互いにいたわり合う。この上なく結びつきの強い夫婦になれただろうに。今、僕は彼女と同じ方法で彼女の後を追わされようとしている。僕の首に縄をかけるのが愛してやまない人であることを嬉しく感じずにはいられない。これで純子の、そして僕の秘密は永遠に守られる。どうか、愛する妹の自殺の理由が自分にあったということを、彼が一生知らずに過ごしていけますように。僕のこの思いにも、彼が気づくことはありませんように。そして、美しい心温まる思い出としてでなくてもいい。 妹を殺した憎い相手としてでもいいので、いつまでも、そう、いつまでも大見の胸の中で、僕が生き続けることができますように。
Like it's just leaving and then a brand new kind of situation. And let me clarify when I say brand new. For mech, it's not brand new. We have a lot of magnetic coming to the game, which magnetic is a pretty, common thing with mech in Hearthstone. However, it's not been in Battlegrounds. It has, but it's not to the extent of other game modes. So excited to see a lot of magnetization coming to Battlegrounds, but what's leaving? On tier 3, we are losing our Iron Sensei. This is one that has left and come back and now is leaving again. This gives +2/+2 to a mech. It's on tier 3. It's just kind of a casual end of turn buffer. At the end of your turn, you get +2/+2. So we will miss you again, Iron Sensei. I don't know how much, but we will, I think. On tier 4, we have a Greasebot leaving. This is one that got changed. It was strong. It was weak. Greasebot has had a journey, so leaving now is interesting. It is the minion that buffs when shields are removed. So I think the whole aspect of like this buffing capacity outside of battle cries and magnetics are kind of a thing of the past in a way. So maybe that's kind of what we're seeing exit. And that being said, tier 5, we have Makoto. That's a really, really important minion to be going away. So specifically with Makoto, I'll talk about one specific interaction. It is a direct counter for Dr. Boombox, who is one of our newer mech that does 7 damage to the 2 nearest enemy minions. It's a nice little tech piece for counters. You can remove a Rivendare by running it at the back of your board with a taunt. Like it can do some damage to minions at scale during combat. It was a direct counter. Makoto was a direct counter for this minion because one would lose a shield, then the other one would lose a shield, and then one would lose a shield, and the other one would lose a shield when someone ran the boombox whole situation. So seeing Makoto leave is sad, and this is another minion that's been on a journey. But I think, like I said, I think we're moving away from that situation into more magnetic situation. So another functionality change we learned during playtesting, you can magnetic onto a full board now. So you don't need to sell a minion anymore to magnetic. And I will tell you right now, I am going to forget that while I'm playing the game. I'm going to be like, oh, I need to sell something. I'm going to do it on accident because I'm so conditioned and so used to doing that. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. But knowing that now, we can magnetic onto a full board. So, new minions. Let's talk about them. On tier 2, speaking of magnetic, we have 𝔹𝕃ℂ𝔻. This is a tier 2 magnetic. At the end of your turn, gain +1/+1. So it's in a way like a sensei where it's, end of turn effect, gaining +1/+1. So this itself could work with the Drukhari. It's, not the most stats in the world, but it can get magnetic to something and just get that incremental stat buff. I like it. It's really cute. Plus, it's just really adorable. So this is going to be helpful just for, some board scaling. On tier 3, this is a pretty anticipated one. This is also a magnetic. This is a Cordotron on tier 3. We have at the start of your turn, gain 1 extra gold. So this is a 2/3 mech with magnetic. Gaining 1 extra gold is really fun. I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to tell you what I might end up doing, which is very silly, but I am also the person that would triple the replicating menace every now and then, which would give you the 2/2s instead of the 1/1s. So here I am doing stuff. Actually, I will wait for it because it's concerning our tier 6 minions. So I'm just gonna wait, but I'll tell you about it. I will. We'll get there. But yes, before I get too ahead of myself, a Cordotron, just a really nice little extra economy unit, which right now we are seeing pretty beneficial to have just that little bit of extra economy using like the South Sea Busker, that new pirate on the correct turn, just extra gold in turns, especially when you're getting into like the middle later game, can be very, very beneficial. So I'm excited to see a Cordotron. On tier 4, we're seeing the introduction of an Avenge unit. This is really, really interesting. This is the Scrap Scraper. This is a 3/6 Avenge 4, get a random magnetic mech. So the ability of having this Avenge unit, which we do have, you know, some summoning units, like we have the Micro Mummy, we have the Harvest Golem staying in, we do have that Replicating Menace. So there are many minions that can die in this situation, and you get a random magnetic mech. So like you could run a mech milk comp, I tried to combine those words and they're too similar, but like a mech milk comp, because of some of these later units that could use those magnetizations. And you don't even necessarily need to run a milk comp. Like you could run a normal mech comp of like a double deflecto, both having a Replicating Menace, both having a Harvest Golem, having the Micro Mummy, you know, having those minions that make all the other minions better. So I think that this is a really fun little unit. I'm hoping Avenge 4 isn't too high. Avenge 3 may be too OP. So I'm quite excited for the Scrap Scraper. I'm pretty sure I've said I'm excited for like all of these cards, but like legitimately mech is probably my most anticipated minion types. On tier 5, we have our Utility Drone. This is another end of turn effect. At the end of your turn, give your minions +1/+1 for each magnetization they have. So if you get this, like, let's build this scenario, right? You have a double deflecto. Both of them have a menace on them. You have used the Lullabot, you've used the Cordotron, you have a Scrap Scraper on your board, you have all of these things to kind of get some value from magnetic units. You have a Utility Drone, you have a Drakari. I feel like you just scale to the moon. Like you just go forever and ever and ever. And like, that's like almost like an AFK board at that point. I really, really like this Utility Drone. I was going to say I'm excited, but I am excited. It's going to be really fun to play for sure. And I think it's going to be this is very different, you know? The concept of like having multiple minions magnetized onto this one minion and then buffing based on that, I think is so cool. And last but not least, on tier 6, we have our Polarizing Beatboxer. Okay, so this is going to come full circle on that little tangent I was about to go down. So the Polarizing Beatboxer, whenever you magnetize another minion, it also magnetizes to this. Let me tell you, in my greedy little sway brain, what's going on here. So first of all, Polarizing Beatboxer sounds just fantastic and very fun, and I think it'd be just a blast with Utility Drone. But say you don't magnetic something, right? Say you just play it without attaching it to something. That gives you the opportunity to triple it while still getting the value from that unit. So like pretend you got some Accordotrons that you were able to not magnetize, which could get hard if you have a bunch of mech, because like, well, you just always play it to the right of the board, just all the way to the right. And then you triple the Accordotron, you're already in possession of a Beatboxer. And then you magnetic that, you get the value from it, and you get the double value from it, so you gain 2 extra gold, because that's what a golden unit does. And then you get 4 gold a turn just from that. And then you also have the Utility Drone and the Drakari situation. So not only is that happening, but you're also magnetizing things and getting buffs. And I'm so, day 1 mech for me, dreams, literal dreams. This is gonna be just a blast. I'm so excited for Monday. Okay, so moving on here. What are mechs going to be good and bad versus? This is, of course, very generalized, just based on, you know, how minions act, how they don't. So based on the mech comp you have, this is very subjective. I've been noodling about beasts this for a second here, just sitting here thinking about beasts. Mech are going to be both good and bad versus beast, and here's why. We have our Dr. Boombox, which I was talking about before, which can easily target the back of a board. So say you're running a golden boombox, or two boomboxes actually, it'd probably be better given Reborn on Beast. So you run two boomboxes, both taunted back of your board, and they remove the back of the Beast board. Fantastic. You also have a Foe Reaper. This is a cleave. We have another cleave coming into the game. Right now we only have Pirate Cleave. Technically two with Wildfire, but Wildfire doesn't really count sometimes. So Foe Reaper coming back into the game. Cleave can be good against Beast. Also sometimes can help though, depending on the kind of Beast build it is. So in that way, could be good or bad. But in terms of just like shielded units like Deflecto and like, but really though, like the shielded aspect of mech is kind of gone. Like we have Deflectobot with a shield, we have Module giving a shield with the magnetic, but like aside from that, removing Meckerel was pretty impactful there. We still have the Pup-Bot, of course, with the shield, but like running shields, large shielded minions into Beast, if you just have straight up like a double Deflecto board, not going to be great for you. So that in that case, it's bad. So specific to Beasts, I'm running through all of these different scenarios. But now Pirates, shields are great against Pirates. Cleave is great against Pirates. You know, the scaling and stacking ability, fantastic against Pirates. Pirates don't have those shields. Pirates have stats and just big stats. So they could scale very well, but they need to run a Tunnel Blaster against you more likely than not. Even if you are running, let's say, just the most rudimentary, like just summoning mech milk board that scales, you know, that's still stats, that's still things that summon. In general, it's going to be great against Pirates because they don't have a lot of protection. They just have stats and gold. And stats and gold against Divine Shields, not so good. Or even just against things that scale as well as I think that these are going to. Demons, also kind of in the same line. However, unless you like absolutely just get the demons, like the demons, then those demons will take those hits and they'll be fine, and then they'll kill the minions and they'll still be fine. So demons, depending on how heavy you're scaling at that point, could be great, could be terrible. Mech is one of those comps that's kind of hard countered by Tunnel Blaster. Like Mech Dragon, obviously the value of shields in mech is very, very high. That is something really important to a mech comp. But I'm hoping the introduction of these other things make it less so. But it will be an interesting thing to see. Of course, great situation into Venomous, into Murloc. However, the way that Murloc are working now with those hand buffs, I do think that maybe this is kind of susceptible to Murloc. Like, I think that mech into Murloc might not be the best situation for the mech, to be honest. The way that Murlocs scale and at the rate at which they scale, and like taking down these small minions, like you can knock a shield with a base skill and get a 300 minion. Like that can just happen. So I think that actually this is pretty susceptible to Murloc, which is not something I would have said in past metas. So that's a kind of interesting to think about. Undead, kind of similar situation where Undead is gonna hit with the small things and then summon bigger things and bigger things and bigger things back of the board. So that is another thing that mech may be pretty susceptible to. I do like how many minions are kind of getting stat heavy. Like there are still tech in the game, but there are so many ways to make so many minions very, very large, which seems to be kind of the move right now. So far we've seen as the minion introductions have happened, and I'm really enjoying it. I think that mech is going to continue to follow a similar schema, but not quite exactly, just along those same lines, because this lives in this world between scaling and also summoning, which we don't see too much of, to be honest. Like Beast, opposite of that. You don't, like, you have scaling, but it's super passive scaling and it happens during combat, but you don't really scale through the course of the game. Undead, similar. Undead, you're scaling, but you're like I'm thinking of Eternal Night build. I'm thinking of like Sister Death Whisper with undead units. So like, or excuse me, reborn units. So this is a very different situation than we've seen with other minion types. So I feel like it's a little bit harder to read in comparison of like these shakeups, you know? Now, given the versatility of this, the heroes that you play and who, like, what kind of mech build you build could honestly be very contingent upon your hero. Like, for instance, if you play Greybow, who is one I use for a very common example because I feel like it's a very approachable example, because it is a summoning hero, but it does taunt those minions. So say you're trying to run a scrap scraper build and just get as many magnetic units as possible. Like, you run Greybow and these minions die, they get taunted, so it's easier to kind of ensure the kind of farming of your own minions, which would help with a scrap scraper build. So then you can just get a bunch of magnetic units, build onto all of these units that you hope are eventually going to die, and then utility drone and buff. So I think that there's so many different hero... I think that there's so many different hero possibilities with different mech builds, if that makes sense. Economy, of course, economy heroes are not necessarily going to play too well into this. However, I think it plays better now with magnetization than it does in the past. A note, though, like that when you magnetic a unit, that unit's gone. So, like, it's not going to come back to the pool. So there will be a point where you're not going to be able to find things in the shops. You know, if you're that time when new things come out and everyone wants to play with the shiny new things, it is going to be hard if you are trying to run a mech build and you're not finding those magnetic units and everyone's playing with the new shiny things. Even for tests, it'll be hard because people are going to magnetic the things and you can't really buy that way. So overall, this is going to be very much like a... let's see how this goes situation. The scrap scraper is going to be pretty pivotal, I think, to get as much value as possible if you're trying to run a whole magnetic mech build. I know this one was like a little bit more vague than any of the other minion talks that we've had in the past, but this is definitely way farther out of the box than anything we have in the game right this moment. And I think that it's going to be a very interesting situation in seeing how it plays into and against different things. It is a very versatile minion type, especially now. And I think seeing it in play is just going to be a whole different animal. So we'll see you on Monday. Let me know what you think about mech. Let me know what you're excited to play, if there's anything I missed. And we'll be back tomorrow with a Quillboar review. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, everyone. Hey y'all, how's it going? It's Sway, and we have Mech and Quillboar joining the Battlegrounds tomorrow, Monday. And we've talked about Mech, so let's talk about Quillboar. So we've seen some minion types get some very large shifts in the way that they work, you know. I mean, not very large, but just kind of, there's some focusing, and there are some very large shifts. Like Murloc, it was a very large shift. So overall, there's been just more of a focus and more of a streamline in some of these minion shakeups. This is a very specific situation going on for Quillboar. It reminds me a lot of Hero Power Druid right now in Constructed. We got a few new cards with Festival of Legends that I really like seeing the replication or just kind of the concept moving over here. It's a really fun one. So before we talk about those things, let's talk about what's leaving. On tier 2, our Roadboar is leaving. This is our 2/4 Frenzy minion. After it gets attacked and lives, you get a blood gem. On tier 3, the Bristleback Brute is leaving. I'm sad about this because it was just some fantastic tempo. However, there are some pretty nice minions on tier 3 that I think will make up for that little gap that we're going to have. On tier 4, our Ground Shaker is leaving. That's pretty huge. So the Ground Shaker was, there was multiple different ways to play Quillboar. As kind of the seasons progressed, Ground Shaker got slightly less relevant. And this is our tier 4 where you play a blood gem on it and the rest of your minions gain +2 attack. Of course, it always had its place. It's some really nice board tempo. You just like stay on 4, you have a Shaker, you have a duo. Like when Quillboar first came out, that was a really, really nice thing to do. And it just kind of didn't have much value moving forward. So I think that it leaving is good to make way for some new kind of concepts for Quillboar. On tier 5, we have 𝔹𝕃ℂ𝔻 leaving. This was our beast that worked with Quillboar, where it gave blood gems a little more value, +1/+1, and you play multiple, they stack. But given some of the new minions, 𝔹𝕃ℂ𝔻 pretty much irrelevant now. So definitely made sense for it to leave. Last but not least, on tier 6, we are losing our Dark Gaze Elder. This was a pretty interesting loss because as a certain amount of gold, you get blood gems played on some Quillbore on your board. We have a different tier 6 Quillbore coming in. That's not quite the same. It does play gems on other Quillbore, but we'll talk about that one. I have some mixed feelings about that one. I'm not sure how amazing or not amazing it's going to be. But before we get into that, we do have to talk about all of the ones before tier 6. That is one thing I very consistently do in these videos. I love getting ahead of myself. So on tier 3, that's where our first new minion lives. Tier 3 is our Moon Bacon Jazzer, which took me a second because we have our Sun Bacon Relaxer and now we have our Moon Bacon Jazzer. So I don't know what the sun and the moon have to do with bacon, but clearly something. Our Moon Bacon Jazzer is a tier 3 2/5 with a battle cry. For the rest of the game, your blood gems give an extra +1 health. So this is what I was talking about with the druid kind of mirror here of like a battle cry giving +1 health. So every time you play a blood gem after you play a Moon Bacon Jazzer, you get that +1 health with that gem. Now moving on to our tier 4, Prickly Piper, which is a death rattle, 6/3. For the rest of the game, your blood gems give an extra +1 attack. So you play some Jazzers, you play some Pipers, and you're just getting some pretty large value from your gems. And I mean, I do like the battle cry aspect of the Jazzer. It's good that we have a battle cry and a death rattle. We've also seen a few different, methods of triggering battle cries, or we have our macaw back for our death rattles. So these are things that could potentially just live on your board. You could have a Moon Bacon Jazzer next to a Rylak if beasts are in the game, or if Murloc are in the game next to a Murkai. The Prickly Piper, you can, like I said, proc with macaw. So there are a few different options here of having this and keeping it on your board. Obviously the Piper can stay because it is a death rattle, so you will only get that effect in combat. But the Jazzer, as a battle cry, we do see the value of keeping a battle cry. So that could potentially be very helpful. Also new on tier 5, we have our Bongo Bopper. At the end of your turn, get a blood gem and play 2 more on this. So this feels kind of similar to the Brute in the way that you're getting the value of you get a gem and then 2 more on that one. So should you want to Necrolite something, that would be a pretty good target because it's going to be playing blood gems on itself. And hopefully at this point, you've already gotten your Jazzer and your Piper. So theoretically, this 5/5 tier 5 Bongo Bopper can get really, really, really large just from the fact that you have these Jazzers and these Pipers. Even though it's only 2 blood gems getting played on this, hopefully they have a lot of health and a lot of attack. And last but not least, here's our tier 6 that I was talking about. This is Bristlebach. I love it. I love the reference. This is Bristlebach, who has an Avenge effect. So this is a 2/10. Avenge 1, play a blood gem on all your Quillbore. So here are my thoughts on this, right? We do have a few Quillbore that we want to die during combat. Prickly Piper, we have our Thorn Collar, we have those death rattle effects. So of course, leading with those is nice, right? To get the value of Bristlebach. But I'm not sure how much the Avenge, I mean, it is only 1. So only 1 unit has to die to get that Avenge effect. So theoretically, you play a board of, you're playing a Quillboard. You're playing a Quillbore board. Oh my goodness. And each time a minion dies, you do get gems played on other things. And in that theoretical sense where you have the Jazzer and the Piper, and those gems potentially are really valuable. So every time something dies, that makes all of your other minions that much stronger. And we have seen, this is not something we've really seen. We've seen like the kind of concept of minions dying and that creating a stronger scenario as opposed to coming in loaded with large minions. So in that way, Bristlebach is a little bit of a support unit in that kind of concept. And it does say on all your Quillbore, so it doesn't say your other Quillbore. It will play a gem on itself. I just don't know how much Avenge value you're going to be getting, because I imagine, right, you maybe get 1 or 2 Avenge, and then at that point you got some pretty large piggies on your board, and they destroy your opponent's board. So Bristlebach, I'm interested to see how much Avenge we can actually get out of this. It does lend to like combo boards of having the first 3 or 4 minions be another minion type, one that requires a lot of summoning, and then the back of your board being a Quillbore situation, so you can get that Bristleback situation going for you. Or, you know, we can do the reborn beast, let's say beast Quillbore, right? You can do like a reborn Rylak, you can do a Macaw, so that way you can get the Jazzer and the Piper, and you can do Bristleback. And maybe like a Rivendare, maybe a Bran. That's a board. That's a whole board. That actually sounds kind of fun, and I will probably try that on day one. But actually, this feels like maybe, like, I don't know if it's strong enough that when I go to 5, I'm going to be like, yes, I tripled into a Bristleback. You know what I mean? We'll have to see, but that's my initial read on it. However, I will say I'm very excited to try the Jazzer and the Piper. This concept in Druid was so exciting to me. So having this in Battlegrounds is going to be the most fun, and definitely a day one for me for sure, getting some value with that Jazzer and the Piper. On to the strengths and the weaknesses. So which minion types will Quillbore be good and bad against? So of course, that is the avenge of it all. That's the kind of thing I had with Bristleback here. But really, you're kind of building some large piggies. These are going to be large minions. You play these blood gems during buy phase, and then like you have the combat slight buffs with Bristleback, but in general, you're just going to have some pretty large minions. Probably 1 or 2 small guys in the front, but aside from that, these are going to scale. These are going to be large. We are happy to still see the Bristleback Knight, so that means we have our Divine Shield Wind Fury with the frenzy of getting that Divine Shield back, which makes it good into Venomous, good into Murloc. So in that way, I really like that. When we ran a very Divine Shield heavy mech situation with the mech roll, Bristleback Knight was really great into that, so I'm tempted to believe that in general Quillbore will be pretty decent into mech. But again, this is a minion type. If you watched my video yesterday, it's kind of not super explored in the way that I think that there's going to be so many different ways to run a mech board. So it's hard to say that Quillbore will be good into it. But just from the get-go, you know, anything with a shield and a Wind Fury. So like a Cyclone, a Bristleback Knight, I feel are generally strong against mech no matter what, but that is of course coming from the knowledge base of what mech used to be and what I think mech might be moving forward. So feels a little interesting there. Of course, we have our Puffer Quill. That's our Quillbore Naga that's still in the game. So we have a Venomous in the Quillbore situation. So that's kind of fun as well. And Puffer Quill did get a buff in the way that it moved down to tier 3 in this last patch. So that being said, we have a pretty decent tier 3, and like I potentially, depending on the game, might hard run a Puffer Quill on my board. I was talking about this in my patch video, but like Puffer Quill was never one you hard ran. So having the ability to maybe have a scaling unit that you keep on your board that, like, I mean, honestly, even with Bristleback, you can have that be the blood gem that you play on the Puffer Quill to get the Venomous for that turn. So doesn't necessarily need to start Venomous, but just like having that additional scaling. So that's something that may be a permanent piece for your Quillbore board. I want to say, given how Elemental look right now, it will be good into Elemental, but it is hard to say. I really like the idea of Charlie, or let me start that again because it's not Charlie. I really like the idea, give you a clean break. I really like the idea of Charlga with the Drakari Enchanter with the end of turn effect. We know during quest meta, the Ghastly Mask, you play Quillbore and your board scales insanely well. And then imagine how well your board would scale and just make very, very large minions with the Drakari, with the Charlga, like so quickly, so quickly, especially if those gems are giving +10/+10 or more, you know, like that is huge. That's massive. So yeah, you play 2 blood gems on all your other minions, but those blood gems are that valuable. That's insane. And I was looking at the fact that Agam is still in the game. So Agam means that there's still a line for a menagerie situation. I don't know about y'all, but I haven't been really feeling like, I feel like there's minion type combos. Like, you know, you have like beast and demon in some ways, and There are just certain things that fit together well between minion types, but having a full menagerie board's not much of a thing anymore because you don't really have those power standout pieces. There's a lot more synergy within minion types. So, of course, it's still possible, but the fact that Agam is in is potentially meaning that there is that opening, and maybe this will help create that opening even more so. I just realized I tangented so hard. We were talking about what minion types these are good and bad against, so let's go back to that idea. If we're getting really reductive here, we're looking at large minions versus summoning minions. Of course, these are the large minions. We don't have a single summoning situation in this whole thing aside from getting blood gems. So, in that respect, you have these large minions that will do poorly against summoning minions because the summoning minions have multiple hits. You have 7 very large minions. They have 14 minions because other minions summon other minions, and that just keeps going, and all those minions are buffed and undead. So undead beast in general should probably do better into Quillbore than you'd like them to if you're playing your Quillbore board. But Quillbore, in the way that elementals have, like, they have shield, they have cleave, kind of, with wildfire. So Quillbore have shield, they have this really large potential to gain a lot of stats really early in the game. So that puts them at that automatic advantage, I feel. And I feel like also a lot of these pieces are built to be very auxiliary. So there is this whole concept of board buffs that has been around, but more so now. We've had Charlga in the game for a while. We also saw Fireworks buffing board. We have Boogie Monster now. The end of turn effect twice is now just a permanent part of the board with the neutral minion of the Drakari, which works really well with the Quillbore, but you can run a Drakari and a Charlga and then no other Quillbore, or you could run a Drakari and a Charlga and Agam after you've already run your Jazzer and your Piper. So there's just a lot of opportunity to start with a Quillbore build and move into something entirely different. I think the most important thing to think about is the Jazzer and the Piper and just getting as much value from those units as possible. Of course, you can play a Quillbore. Of course, you can play a Blood Gem for +1/+1, but why would you do that when you can play it for +5/+5 or even +3/+3, +1/+3. There are so many different ways that you can just benefit from having slightly larger blood gems, even if you're not playing Quillbore. So they're making this a very nice auxiliary minion type. If you can't get the Quillbore build, at least you still have the availability of the blood gems, which, we'll see with Vol'jin. If Vol'jin's not banned, which I can't remember right now. I know Vol'jin's banned in Naga lobbies, but Vol'jin already had a really nice situation of putting gems on something, swapping the stats, and then using a Necrolite to pull the gems off of that first unit, because they still exist there. They still live on that unit. So you just got all those extra stats, and I think that this is even more valuable now. Well, I guess we started talking about heroes. Let's talk about what heroes do well or badly with Quillbore. Due to the nature of what I was just talking about, of these minions just kind of being great auxiliary units, even if you're not building a Quillbore board, Millhouse is like a really great hero for this, because Millhouse is really reliant on your shops because the rolls are so expensive. So getting some gem buffs and then eventually using those gems on other things, if that's where the game leads you, is fantastic. Of course, there is some cycling ability for those econ heroes, so we can think about Hooktusk, we can think about Gallywix. Of course, summoning versus econ, summoning aren't going to do as well here because, what do these summon? Gems, but no minions. So those heroes are going to kind of be slightly remiss here. But of course, like with Terran, if you have Terran, you can use your hero power on the Prickly Piper, get that little extra death rattle in, but in general, you're not really looking at great value. So overall, that's my read on Quillbore. It's going to be a really fun and interesting scenario to have both Mech and Quillbore come in at the same time, because while they are kind of revamped, they're both getting like a little streamline. They're not drastically changing. I think Quillbore is getting a little bit more affected in the way that gems are, because gems affect the entire lobby, whether you're playing Cold War or not. So that's going to be fun to see them both in play, and also how they affect all of the other minion types and how they affect the games. Of course, the power level with Mech and Cold War is going to go way up. So seeing those combat what we are dealing with right now in the meta is going to be very fun. I'm very excited. So tomorrow we're going to have some fun gameplay of Mech or Cold War. I'll be live at 1 o'clock on Twitch tomorrow if you'd like to come check that out. Thank you so much for watching this Minion Shake-Up series. It was a blast to record. I love analyzing minions. I also really love talking, so I appreciate y'all hanging out, and we'll see you later for some gameplay tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye, everyone. Hey y'all, how's it going? It's Sway with a game for you today. So Arana got a little buff in the most recent patch, only needing 2 less minions to attack in order to activate the hero power. I wasn't sure how effective this was going to be. I wasn't sure if it was actually going to lead to maybe a turn earlier or not. In this particular situation, it led to the exact same turn in which I usually get Arana to get the hero power going. However, we were able to really find a nice line. It did require a little bit of greed, but what Sway game doesn't require a little bit of greed? But we found a really nice line with a minion that I haven't really gotten a really nice game with recently. So this felt really, really good. Enjoy. All right, let's see if Arana is a little bit better now. It's either Arana or Gale Wing. Let's play Arana. I love Arana.
This battle, I will make sure of it.
Nana. Do we have a Nanaman? We do! It's Nanaman! I don't know about mobile, but I know for PC, patch went live an hour and a half ago. We'll see how much faster we get this. I think I played like a milk board and we got it by turn 6 or 7 last time.
Well, that was a shame, wasn't it?
I love this song.
You're no match for my magic. I'll do what I can. I fight for my family.
Oh.
I am sure you can find
I was just messing, just joshing.
somewhere.
Because Josh bought the rights to that word. What? Sage leaves for doggy summer camp tomorrow for 2 weeks. Oh, I'm so excited for her. She's gonna be so tired when she gets home. That'll be really fun though. I got regular updates from them, and Waffles, they had like 3 crates that dogs could just chill in if that's where they wanted to be, if that's like, you know, the vibe. And I got a picture almost every other day of Waffles sitting on top of one of the crates just for hours. That was his favorite place to hang out and watch everything, on top of a crate. I don't even know how he got up there, but he just apparently enjoyed being up there. And it's like, there's a door right there. You can sit inside it, but he's like, no, I'm going to be on top of it.
Your enemy will not hesitate.
Oh man. Alright, so it's still turn 6 for us. I mean, I didn't play nearly as much of a milky comp, but still.
These battles are quite an impressive display of power. Ah, this minion will serve you well. Yes.
I'll be right back, 1 second.
For better things.
I fight for my family.
Biff was just like playing with all the puppos. Waffles spent most of his time just staring at everyone and like getting attention from humans. Waffles loves humans. He likes dogs too, but he loves humans. He's like, hey human, you should love me now. Also, I decided to keep going with the Big Feeling song, sorry. This is such a beautiful song. Oh, go right, go right, go right. Just kidding. I thought you were golden, but you're not. That's fine. I mean, you still went right, and I'm proud of you.
These battles are quite an impressive display of power. Yes, that looks much more intimidating.
We're gonna sell this next turn.
Guardians, strike now!
Well, that's absurd. Thanks for the helping hands.
I am sure you can find a use for this one. Somewhere.
The fate of the world hangs in the balance. Let's keep it rolling. Somebody's coming in.
I am sure you can find a use for this one. Somewhere. Hold him teeth! Hold him a hat!
Somebody's coming in hot. Somebody's coming in hot.
Hold him teeth! Hold him a hat!
Note pairs. Nowhere.
Well, that was a pivot.
In the name of the Fell, I will break you!
Yep, that was a whole pivot.
Your study is paying off. Hold in my teeth, hold in my hands. Yes, yes, make room for better things. Ah, this one is going to be useful. Stay still, you minions. Are you on the guest list?
We're just gonna triple that next turn. We get another Caligos. That's hilarious. It really is. That's so funny. Wait, isn't that the younger Spears sister? Wasn't there some like giga beef with her and Brittany? I might be making that up.
Your study is paying off. That minion has graduated with honors. A good enough choice, I suppose.
Hangs in the balance.
Whichever minion you pick, make sure they respect your...
Okay, I'm gonna sell the Sanctum Rester, and then we're gonna play the young Murkai because it's gonna trigger the Primal Fin because it's a Murloc, and that's great. It's kind of greedy. And by kind of greedy, I mean incredibly greedy. However, I am Sway. Nice to meet you. Really Divine Shielded unit. One job. That almost went kind of poorly.
Victory is my
Sick.
destiny.
It's another one?